Please note that no AI, colorization or digital enhancement has been applied to my personal archive of original postcards, photographs, slides and negatives featured on this YouTube channel. The Crown Inn on Barrack Lane in Cradley has for many years been known colloquially as the Widders, a Black Country pronunciation of widows. The pub's name changed to its local epithet in 2007. Taken when Daisy Smith was the licensee, this photo negative of the Crown Inn dates from the Second World War. The building, it would appear, has recently been refaced with stone cladding by the owners Wolverhampton and Dudley Breweries Limited. The image also shows the property that once stood on the corner of Burfield Road, a road name that possibly derives from the Saxon bur, meaning stone dwelling. Barrack Lane, the road on which the Crown Inn faces, is thought to commemorate a barracks for parliamentary troops stationed here during the English Civil War. The pub's name, the Widders, probably derives from the fact that for 2 generations the Crown Inn was kept by the widow Eliza Oliver during the late 19th and early 20th century. She was the licensee of this former beerhouse for over 50 years from 1872 until the mid to late 1920s. Her long tenure at the Crown Inn would have made her a local institution. In the 19th century it was quite common to address women as widow rather than Mrs. I can imagine the locals saying to one another, "Fancy going for a pint down Widow Oliver's?" And this would naturally be abbreviated to simply the Widders, but in a Cradley twang, making it Widders. Slade Road, the lane connecting Barrack Lane with Church Road, was once called the Slad Piece, probably derived from the Germanic schleck, meaning small pieces of coal. Miners would have made up a good number of the customers who used the Crown Inn during the late 19th century. There were several pits within walking distance, the closest being Cradley Colliery on what is now Cradley Park. Widow Oliver's Tavern would have been a welcome watering hole after a hard day's graft at the colliery. Other local men were mostly engaged in the making of bricks or chain. Indeed, the chain shop of Thomas Perry was only yards away at Cuckoo's Corner. The pub was originally known as the Rose and Crown, and during the mid-19th century was kept by the Cradley-born blacksmith Joseph Oliver. He had grown up in this locality as his father was the road contractor Benjamin Oliver. The family business was successful and his father employed a dozen men. Whilst his brother Edwin followed in his father's footsteps, Joseph took up the trade of blacksmith. He married Sarah Hipkiss in May 1852. She was the daughter of the iron manufacturer Moses Hipkiss of Ragmill Forge at Overend. The newlyweds settled in Overend, from where Joseph plied his trade. Sarah Oliver died in 1862 and Joseph moved back to Cuckoo's Corner. It was in 1868 that he remarried, his wife being the aforementioned Eliza, daughter of Nabo Homer, publican of the Dudley Arms at Lie Waste. This connection with the licence trade may have marked the opening of the Oliver home as a beerhouse. The census of 1871 records the beerhouse as the Rose and Crown. Joseph Oliver worked as both blacksmith and publican. The couple's daughter Annie was born in 1872. However, Joseph Oliver died of consumption in the same year on August the 27th. He was 38 years old. The licence of the pub was transferred to widow Eliza Oliver, and she remained at the helm, helped by her daughters. Maria, stepdaughter from Joseph's previous marriage, became romantically involved with the ironworker Joseph Hickman, who worked next to the pub. After they were married, she only had to move to the neighbouring property. Younger daughter Annie took over duties behind the bar of the Crown Inn. Eliza Oliver also employed a domestic servant to undertake the chores of the household. And this was the situation for many years. Annie, who didn't marry, remained with her mother at the pub. In the interior photographs of the pub you can see the ceiling joists across both the bar and lounge of the former Crown Inn. The original layout of the pub would have had much smaller rooms, one of which may have been the sitting room of the publican. The census of 1911 records that the property had 7 rooms. Despite being opened out in succeeding years, the pub remains quite a cosy little tavern. Thanks for viewing and listening to my blurb. If you enjoyed the video, please give a thumbs up. Post your comments below if you have more info or a question. If you think these video clips rock, you can also subscribe to the channel.